welcome back to Flying with TFC. And here we are, Olympus base, which still needs a makeover, and I'm going to get that done soon, with the XR2. And if we jump inside, you'll see that I've already set up a transect plan for a trip from Mars to Earth. And I've got the eject orientation such that we can do a direct takeoff. And let's see. Oh, that was not the thing I needed to mess with. There. Okay, I needed to adjust the eject orientation marker. Lay it over the top of our current position, like so. Okay, so we'll lift off and turn to a heading of 93.7 by about 94 degrees and proceed. Now, what I'm going to do here is something that probably isn't supposed to be done, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to see just to show the results actually that I saw when I did this off camera for a test. I'm going to do a scram ascent from Mars. So let's start things up. Get the lights on just as part of procedure. Aerodynamic flight controls, secondary HUD, RCS on rotation, external cooling off, and hover doors open. And let us begin a most unlikely flight. As we first lift off, retract landing gear. Rotate around to 94 degrees. As I overshoot because I got a little too anxious to turn quickly. Okay, now we light the main engines. Set attitude hold 5 degrees and engage that. And I think we don't need the hovers anymore. I'm going to bring up orbit MFD over here. Okay. Approaching Mach 3, scram doors open. And let's light them up. Cut the main engine. Scram thrust is very low to start with, but you'll notice it's increasing as we continue to accelerate. Approaching Mach 4.
Mach 4.
Just hold a basically level attitude with just a little bit of pitch. And continue straight on. Now, given the timing and everything here, we should be actually fairly close to the necessary orientation for eject, if I'm reading transects right. And if I'm not, that's okay, because this was mostly for show about the scrams. Scram thrust increasing, becoming significant. And it will shortly become very significant. While we will warm up some, I don't believe heating will be a major factor. nicely. I'm going to reduce the pitch to 2.5 degrees, and we will continue the climb. Mostly we will continue accelerating. Soon to watch will be on orbit, the graphic display and the information here. Yeah, that's the right display. There we go. APA is 26 kilometers and climbing. We're only 13 up, and it's climbing very fast. Scram thrust is continuing to increase. Scram temperature's increasing, but not. They'll never get more than halfway to the max. Hull temperature is decreasing. Apparently we've passed our max temp, max heating. Now, I admit, I have no idea if these engines could actually work in the Martian atmosphere. I don't know if there's enough oxygen in there. However, you'll notice our apoapsis. We are about to reach Martian escape velocity, and we haven't even left the atmosphere yet. Semi-major difference is still coming down very significantly. Relative inclination is also dropping. Delta V requirement for the trip is almost dead, almost down there. It's down to 800 meters per second and dropping quickly. We may get our eject just on the scram engines. We have escape velocity. .400 meters per second to go. I'm going to continue trying to do this on the scrams. Scram thrust is now dropping. There isn't as much air out there to feed it. 200 meters per second to go. 100. 50. 30. Shut down scrams just in time. Alright. Translation to... Okay. Shut down the attitude hold. And let's rotate to face our velocity vector. And translation to finish off that delta V. Or actually to correct the slight overshoot. That's good. Semi-major difference. Let's see. That's lateral translation to work on that. Alright. To the left. Inward was incorrect, so we'll rotate outward. Let's get the orbit HUD. Get on the center line, rotate 90 degrees outward, and we'll fix that semi-major difference. 2.5 is rather high, I understand. And you can see here the green line of our actual orbit is not close to matching up with the dashed yellow line, the planned orbit. No, that's not right. Perhaps I should start from prograde. Of course. That would make more sense. Okay. Chalk it up to Stupid Mistakes 101 and continue on. Because believe it or not, it actually looks like we might actually get a trip to Earth out of this crazy ascent. Now rotate to 90 degrees to the right, which would be outward. I was pointing orbit normal, I believe, which was actually affecting the inclination, which I will now have to fix. Okay. There we go. Semi-major difference coming down. .5, 0.4, 0.3, okay, it started to climb back up.
Translation.
So we'll get it down to the lowest point we can get it to. Alright, that looks like about it. Alright, let's go back to prograde. A bit of up-down translation to fix the inclination. That's making it go up. Okay. Down is making it come down, so anti-normal orientation should work on that. And if it doesn't, that means I'm thinking backwards. But that's okay. This whole flight is about things I've never done before. As a matter of fact, a lot of my flights, I think, are going to be about stuff I've never done before. Okay, we're at minus 90. Now we're at minus 90. And that drove it up. So let's open the retro doors, use the retros, and that way I don't have to flip the ship over. Okay, and translation to finish that off. Get it down as low as it can go. Okay, right there it started to go up, so that's enough of that. And so, here we are. Theoretically, at least, we're on course for Earth. It looks like we're in Mars orbit, but clearly we're not. And we've managed to use a rather unorthodox method of getting off the ground, or getting up to orbit. We don't need the massive scram fuel anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and dump it. And turn off the APU, because we don't need that running anymore. Well, although I should go ahead and close retro doors and deploy the radiator before we have thermal problems.
Scram fuel depleted.
Well, there goes the last of our scram fuel. And here's the radiator. And now shut down the APU to get rid of the noise and save on APU fuel. Alright. The next step will be to pull away from Mars and do a mid-course correction sometime out. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, rotation, kill rotation, and let's time accelerate out from Mars. A nice view here. I need to remember not to use quite so much time acceleration close in to something like Mars. And I'll be interested to know if this trip actually ends up being possible, in spite of the start that it's had that I've never seen anyone do. Okay. Pull out 1000X. And as we pull out of the influence of Mars, I will end the video, and we'll pick this up in the next video with our first mid-course corrections, which I have a sneaky suspicion might be kind of on the large side, but I think that's okay. We've got 85.4% of our main fuels remaining. And so, with Mars shrinking in the background, with Phobos and Deimos visible as little points of light here and here, and no, I don't know which one is which without bringing up planetarium mode. And so, we're off to Earth on a most unusual flight. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.